how did you come to terms with the anxiety and the risk that came with, okay, I'm going to go into business with this person? Like how
Mhm.
did, were there ever moments where you felt like, is he just a natural born salesman?
I think she might still wonder that
Yeah,
on some
yeah,
days.
right. I think it's honestly from my background and my family. My dad owns restaurants, and I grew up in those restaurants, helped run them, went from being part of it as a server all the way up to managing and almost being part owner of one of those restaurants. So I think a lot of the characteristics I saw in Johnny, I also saw in my dad, and the way he ran things and the way he put things together. And it was a level of confidence in both the business plan itself and in Johnny, and the way he presented this colorful picture of what we could build, right? So it wasn't just these random ideas that were thrown out there. And it wasn't him steamrolling me after we discussed these ideas, right? It was a collaborative effort saying, okay, what do you think about this? The education piece, the training piece, the business model, all of it. Rather than going the other way, which some people could do and say, these are my ideas, either agree with them or not. If you don't want, I'll find someone else, right? So
Right.
all of those things were really executed well, and they came across well, and it was refreshing and reassuring more than off-putting. So I felt comfortable with it.
Well, one piece of that was, I had been through an evolution in my career. I started off as a therapist. I began to see the holes in that. I began to do some personal training on the side for the passion of it, and because of my to make a little extra money. And then as those two things went together for me, I had completely exited the therapy world. I had been through the big box club environment that Michelle was in, and I had already gone on to be an independent contractor. So I've been working for myself for
Right.
a number of years, and I think that was helpful for us, because one thing that Michelle is incredible at doing when we bring people on is she has an amazing way of explaining to them and making them feel confident with a transition of going from what people in a big box club presume is a target or a revolving door of new clients to have. It doesn't really work out as well as they think. But I think the question is, where am I going to get my clients?
Yeah.
And I think I was able to share with Michelle my experience on how I had done that um, over the 3 to 4 years before that. And I think that gave her a little bit of an olive branch for the one thing that might have been the hang up. And since then, she's really taken the point on that, to be able to share that experience with anyone who is in that same situation that we might be trying to recruit.
Mm-hmm. It's pretty scary going from working for someone else to basically owning your own business, whether it be a bricks and mortar or independent contractor who rents out of a space. And it's a big leap for a lot of people in this industry to take. And that's one thing Johnny kept saying, you have the entire city to choose from, not just the people that are coming into your gym. So let's make the most out of that.
Yeah. I think that's a kind of powerful thing to overcome, right? I think that there's so much anxiety that comes with branching out on your own and not having that security of a paycheck coming in every 2 weeks. Want to go back to kind of this idea of, self-awareness, knowing what you need in a partnership, right?
Mm-hmm.
Identifying that, hey, I can't solve this by myself. Like, when you guys came together, were there any like really tough situations, tough moments, tough conversations where you guys could be transparent with each other and, say, hey, you're better at this, you own that. I'm better at this, I own this. Like, how did you guys, get through that storm, or was there even a storm to get through?
I don't think there's been any hurricanes, but there's certainly been a lot of storms along the way, and we might answer this differently. For me, the thing was, at first, I kept thinking that we had to agree on everything and that we both had to have the same strengths. And I thought, well, I need to get better where she's better. I hope she can get better where I'm better. And somewhere along the lines, I'm sure we've had conversations about this in my memory, but we realized that, well, if you're great at that, maybe you should sort of be the head of that and let me worry about this, or let me do that. And for me personally, that is actually, when I came to that realization, that has helped me so much, because then instead of measuring Michelle and I in certain categories, I'm able to be inspired by her, where her strengths are, and able to be comfortable that she trusts me where my strengths are.
Yeah, I think in the beginning, to be specific, one of the hardest things for me was raising the money, was coming up with funding in the beginning. And it's not something that I had an easy time with in any way, shape, or form. So it was really, really difficult. And my wife was like, "Hey, listen, Johnny, look, it seems like one of his strengths, and one of the things he can help with and figure out, and you guys are going to be fine with it. Why don't you start working on the things that you're comfortable with and can do?" So could put out some of the fires in my mind that end up totally numbing me to where I don't even do anything. So it was nice where we had that balance where I could just focus on the education portion, or the bringing in trainers, or something different that needed to be done still, that wasn't that numbing aspect of beginning this business.
Thanks for watching. If you found this video to be helpful, please leave a comment, like, subscribe, and share with a friend. If you are an entrepreneur and want to share your story and be helpful to others, just shoot us an email at behelpfulpodcast@gmail.com. See you next time.